Hi, everyone. I'm Elaine Quijano. As Donald Trump and his transition team prepare to take over the White House, protesters across the country take to the streets. Chants of "Not My President" echoed across several major cities Wednesday. Hundreds of people gathered outside Trump Tower in Chicago. It was a similar scene in Washington, D.C., outside a Trump hotel, where a few demonstrators got into a scuffle with hotel staffers as they tried to push back a barricade. And after violence erupted in California's Bay Area Wednesday morning, protesters are filling the streets again in Oakland.
Not my president! Not my president!
And hundreds gathered in New York City's Union Square, calling Trump racist, sexist, and anti-gay. Another group of demonstrators came together at Times Square and marched toward Trump Tower. Jamie Yuccas is outside of Trump Tower in New York City. Jamie, what is the message that these demonstrators want to send?
Elaine, a number of them just kept chanting various causes and saying that Donald Trump is not their president. They just kept going on and on, whether it was about racism, sexism. A number of people compared him to the KKK, that type of thing. You can see right now that the crowd is starting to disperse a little bit here at Trump Tower. We're at 58th Street and 5th Avenue. At one point in time, police officers here on site told me that they believed between 1,000 and 3,500 people had marched from Times Square up to this area. We know that another group is going to be meeting at Union Square, potentially joining them to then march from Times Square up here right now. But you can see the crowd starting to disperse right now. They're headed up towards Central Park and Columbus Circle. We are in a barricaded area. The police had cordoned off the media at one point in time, trying to corral us into one spot so that we didn't get lost in the mob. You can hear some chanting. You can actually, I'm going to step out of the way. You can see the police officers moving the barricades back. Now, these barricades were set up for the protesters themselves, and it looks like they're trying to open up 5th Avenue once again. At one point in time, we actually had people hanging from street lamps and different poles here. We watched some people crawl up onto transit bus stations, that kind of thing. You can see in front of Trump Tower, there's been a lot of security right outside there. You can see a lot of the garbage trucks and barricades that have been set up. I did have a couple police officers tell me that at one point Donald Trump was home today, but they believe that he did leave at one point tonight. We do know that he's supposed to be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow meeting with President Obama, so we're not sure of Donald Trump's whereabouts at this point in time. But with these two protests that you mentioned happening tonight, it seems that he may have gotten out of town. We know Melania will also be meeting with Michelle Obama tomorrow as well to go over that transition team. So you can see the police officers starting to push people now onto the sidewalks here in Midtown Manhattan and get them out of this specific area tonight to try to get them on their way. This was expected. People had been posting on Facebook and that type of thing that these protests were going to be happening tonight. It seems like for the most part things remain peaceful. There were some moments where we saw on social media that somebody had been saying that there were some arrests that happened and potentially some fires that were started here in front of Trump Tower. But I just talked to an organizer who said that the NYPD did a really good job keeping everybody safe, that they're actually very happy with how things turned out tonight, that they moved people right along and are now dispersing them up to Columbus Circle.
All right. Jamie Yuccas, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.